That's about as good as that's getting. Do 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 do. Okay. Now let's plug this in. Let's get some power. Let's not spill all my bloody ISO. Let's try and get this thing actually working. I can prep it for sale. Coffee. Good stuff. Alright. 8 ohm here. Speaker. There we go. Sweet. Alright. So we got that there, ready to rock and roll. Yes. All recapped ages ago. Let's just check to make sure that there's no shorts or anything that developed since it's been in storage. I really need to change this thing. Switches on thusly. Go. Yep. Good-o. Alrighty. Power is up. Volumes are all down. EQ is where it is. Let's get rid of the bloody trim. It's not necessary. Nothing dread plating, not doing anything stupid. No. Hey, how we going? How's it sounding? No noise, nothing crazy. Now I can't actually remember if there's preamp tubes in this. Yeah, no, they're all there. Preamp tubes galore, which is good. Okay, so this doesn't appear to be any noise, which is good. Alright, let's get that out of the way for this. Yeah, I can hang there. Glenn, howdy. Getting the last man on Earth syndrome. Where is everyone? I mean, well, I am in Australia, first of all, so timing is very, very different. So there's that. And second of all, I just randomly was like, I'm going to fix stuff. Let's just, let's get in front of the camera. Why not? It's a bit boring here otherwise. That's not right. I have no treble on that channel whatsoever. Suppose I better actually plug up and mic that up and do the things there. Mamma mia. Alright. There we go. So there's my microphone there, which can go into channel 1. I said can go into channel 1. There we go. Sweet. Squeak. Kill. Doobie-doobie-doo. New metal Fender, yeah. Well, they did a bunch of that stuff back in the day. So in the early mid 2000s, they had a range of they had an amp called the MH500. It was a 500 watt solid state head designed for metal. It was utterly insane. It was crazy. It's kind of cool, but still completely crazy. They didn't sound very good if I remember correctly, but it's been a while since I've actually heard one. So now let's see if we got signal to this mofo. Now, how do I actually mute these on the fly? There we go. Mute the XA. Yes, Korn did have a signature amp with a subwoofer, but it wasn't a signature amp. It's even crazier. Here we go. Korn actually did have an amp that had a subwoofer. However, it was not their signature amp. And the reason why I know is because I actually owned one of them. It was an amp called the Rivera Bonehead. And there were about 85 of them ever made. They were actually Steve Lukather's signature amp. Basically, Steve Lukather teamed up with Rivera. They made an amp. It was 3 channels. Each channel also had a switchable boost as well. So it was basically like 3 pseudo like dual 2-channel amps in there. And it had a dedicated output for an active sub that would go under the 412. And it was a single 15-inch cab, or 18, one of the two. It had its own solid state amp in there. And Korn used that on the albums Follow the Leader and Issues. And I actually owned one. I've owned almost every metal amp you can imagine, and every high gain amp. I've gone through them all. So they actually existed and they were cool. Los Lobotom, yeah, that was I think that was the name of the cab, and it went with the head and the head and that. And yeah, this thing was a monster. It was like 100 watts, but it was full 3-channel, all that kind of stuff. And it sounded killer. Like I could actually throw one of my 7 strings through it and do the classic breakdown from Freak on a Leash, and it sounded just like it. So yes, that was cool. But back to what I was doing. I was just testing to make sure to see whether the AG is actually working for its sound. So let me just quickly mute myself again. So how's the guitar coming across? How's it sound? Does it sound alright? I did a quick check with my AirPods and all the rest of that, and it seemed like it sounded okay. Seemed like it was alright. Sound off in chat how it was. Okay, so I've got to give those pots a bit of a clean. They're a bit on the funky side. Let's unplug that and let's go over to the trem channel. Let's see how we go here. Alright, so I found the problems there, so needs a bit of a general service and that. So this amp has been through hell. This one actually came from Japan and it had a bad transformer and some other stuff. It actually was in a house fire. So it was not happy. Not happy, Jan. So I went through, replaced the power transformer, gave it a service, decontaminated everything, got rid of as much junk as I could, and now it seems like it's okay, but I still got to deal with these the pots because they are very, very scratchy and noisy. There's potentially some contamination or something inside of there. Quickly, I want to make sure I've got all my zappy stuff's dealt with. I would like to not shock myself, thank you. That'd be real nice. I'll just go down that end actually. I suppose that one there, that one there. Actually, speaking of old school Metallica, just a random thing popped up on my on one of my feeds this morning about the guitarist who preceded Dave Mustaine. It was on their very first demo. Yeah, Lloyd. Yeah, like listening to that from 1982, and it's like you can hear the difference between 82 Metallica and like late 83 Metallica when Kill 'Em All came out. It's like just in that period of time there, they got so much. Oh, yes. Mr. Sandman. Correct. Yes. Yes. Okay, let's get these pots out, get this board out, give it a good old-fashioned cleany jobby. Oh, lungs. Stay. And while I'm actually in here, I'm going to measure up the main board here, because what I want to do is make a drop-in board for the twin, because sometimes these go bad and other times people just want to make an amp that's a bit more repairable than that. Most everything on the board can be top mounted easier. So if I do that, make it a bit better layout and design wise, get rid of some of the noise and get rid of those bloody stupid quick nicks that sometimes go bad, then I can sell them as a DIY kit, because I'm doing a couple of those things. So I've got Blues Junior that is getting like a DIY like upgrade mod kit. People can buy it and they can fix things up, because they do have their known issues. Another one is a Hot Rod Deluxe. I'm working on a couple of circuits that are like drop-in replacement boards for them, and just give them a completely different flavor. So one of them will be like a more traditional, like kind of like Bandmaster-ish type setup. So very sort of like classic, very clean, all that jazz. The other one will be something that's more like Marshall-y. So they're a good platform. They got 40 watts worth of output, or you can go into the 60 watt version. Yeah, there's enough space on there for like 2 channels of things. Not everyone needs the reverb, so that can be deleted. There's enough preamp tube slots in there to be able to do something with them. And then if you do need extra gain stages or whatever, you can sneak them in there in the form of stuff like LND 150s and IRF 820s. So you can have like solid state FETs in there. And they're brilliant for stuff like cathode followers. So you've got, not worried so much about the gain on it. You just want it to be just clean, do its thing, pick up, push into the next stage. Same with the loop. You can put a better quality high thing loop. Also, if you've got like an amp like this and you've got a stack of washers and that you need to remove from the front of the pot, get yourself one of these. It's a magnet on a stick, like the old-fashioned aerials from back in the day. So, there we go. That goes there, that goes there. And then that way it's just easier than trying to like leverage something behind them to get them out of the way. Why is my phone going off? Anything interesting? No. Hey Mark, how's it going? Heard the weather up that part of the northern hemisphere is getting incredibly cold right now. There's a town in Japan actually that just had like 140 centimeters of snow overnight. It's insane. Absolute bloody madness, I tells you. Yeah. The amount of like pieces of gear that come through that have like missing screws or hardware, and then they'll either just leave it blank and not care, or what they'll do is they'll use completely the wrong hardware on there. Like, insanity. Like, I keep a bunch of hardware in that on hand in case I need to change something out or whatever. It happens. Sometimes you drop something or you lose it or whatever the case is. Sometimes, like, the screw will be bad, so you replace it. You replace it with the correct stuff. A lot of people don't like doing that, though. There we go. $21F. What's that? What's that in real numbers? I don't know. I don't know. Let's ask. Hey Siri, what's 21 Fahrenheit in Celsius?
21 degrees Fahrenheit is minus 6.11 degrees Celsius.
Yeah, to an Aussie, that's pretty intense. That is like hard. There's like very few places in Australia that actually get that cold. You gotta go like down to Tasmania or like inland, like Canberra and shit, or you gotta go very high, like up Kosciuszko. Do. Cool. Alrighty, board's done. Let's unplug that, make sure everything's all good. That comes out of the way, that comes out of the way, that can come out of the way, and all the lock washers, of course. You bastard. Cool. Oh yeah, that's right, previously I was working on this one and actually upgraded the jacks to proper Switchcraft 11s, so they were just far better. Far better. Everything's all good on here, yep, cool. So these ones actually mount like some of the components of the tone stack on the board here, kind of like the way they did it back in the day on the original ones, where they mount a couple of components onto the backs of the pots. But there's not really much need to if you're going to like have a whole PCB there, so it makes no sense. Being in the single digits and negatives, yeah, that's pretty crazy. I think the coldest I've ever been was when we were in Japan in winter and we were up in Aomori, and I think it was like minus 10, minus 15. Yeah, that's about as far as I've kind of gotten. One day I'm sure I'll experience even crazier colds. One day. Where is my paper towel? Paper towel, paper towel, paper towel. There we go, paper towel. Put the beer outside. Yeah. It is actually, it's quite horrendous here at the moment in Sydney. It's quite warm, it's disgusting, it is humid, it is absolute balls. Do not like. Clean out the pots, clean out the pots. And I hope I don't have to replace any, because Fender do not like supplying parts for these amps or any others these days. Yay. You can't actually get a replacement speed pot for these. Speed pot dies, you have to buy the whole assembly, which is utterly insane. Like, you can get a 3 meg reverse audio pot, but it's not easy to actually jam it in on here, because it'll be a 24 mil, so it'll be the same as a like a vintage one. And these are 16 mil pots with a bracket and all that, so to fit it in is a real nightmare. Absolute pain in the ass. Okay. Come on. Just a wee bit more. Ugh, gummy. Nasty. Steamy at Seven Hills. Yeah, it would be. Anywhere out west, man, especially with all the heat island stuff. Like, I grew up out in the western suburbs. I'm so much a Westie, I went to New Zealand as a teenager and lived in the west of Auckland. And then when I came back to Australia, and over the years and that, I ended up living out west and then out southwest. Of course, out in Campbelltown, out that way. I was out there for a fair while. And yeah, it's just grey copy-paste boxes everywhere, no trees, no cover, and it's horrid. Like, Penrith was really quite bad for that too. Here, like in the inner west, it's not quite so bad. We're not as far from the coast, so there's a little bit of a cooling effect from that coastal area. But also, there's more greenery and stuff here, so things are a bit cooler. Alright, there I suppose. Clean up the excess. Terracotta and brick veneer. Yep. So they don't even do the brick veneer now. It's just crappy bloody wood assembly with rendering on the outside that starts cracking after like 3 years. And it looks like absolute shite. Legit, the place that we lived in, Bardia, the whole estate was the same, basically the same plans, same boxes, top to bottom. was insane. Like, every house along the street looked identical with just slightly different features. Coffee. Coffee. Good stuff. Always need coffee. Flapping in the breeze there. Don't want to burn that. Hey, Chris, how are we, mate? Glad you could make it. I was randomly like, you know what? I'm just going to turn on the camera while I'm here. Work on some bits. The repair queue is almost empty here, so just going through my stash of stuff to process to sell. You know, various projects and things I've had for ages, stuff that I've kind of like given up on. It's like, I got a bit of time now, let's do it. Okay, now comes the fun part. Trying to finagle these in place with lock washers as well. Except they are totally the wrong size lock washer. Why did I use those? You absolute gimboid. Quarter-inch jacks, those ones, no. Pancake, there we go. So these are the lock washers normally for like barrel jacks and stuff, not for 3/8 inch things like these. One, two, three, four. Cool. So the world's stupidest slap fight is still ongoing, and oh man, it is wild. I was booking in some parcels and that for shipping, and my suppliers now are all, they're all saying, it's like, if you are shipping anything into the US, please note, everything that ships to the US that is made in China, regardless of if it is shipped from China, is now subject to the import tariffs. So I'm like, great. There goes like half of my business. Shipping stuff over to the US from here. And yeah, anything that happens to be made in China. That's it. He's all done. Alright, let's stay there for a sec. Ah, you bastard. Finagling like a nightmare. Lean over. There we go. Alright. That's not going to do it. That is the opposite of what I wanted to do. How did I do this last time? Past me was a lot smarter, apparently. Come on. Oh, you fucker. Alright, you go there. You go there. You go there. There should be one more. Where'd the other one go? Did I drop it? No, there it is. Okay, random. Alrighty then. And those things upwards. Get those cables out of the way. Don't get out of the way, you hangings. No, I guess I have to do it this way then. Bloody hell. That one, and that one. Come on, there we go. Oi. Come here. There we go. Sun and snow. Nice. I like snow. I like cold. It's good. Alright. That one go there. We'll put that and that. Like so. Excellent. That's how I did it. Sometimes I have some okay thoughts in the squishy pink matter up top. Sometimes. Alright. There we go there. Ow, these things are sharp. There we go. Ugh, this heat is awful. Melting like a mofo. And last one. There you go. God damn it. Come here. Boy. Come here. There you go. There we go. No. Oh my god. There we go. Get in there. Aha! Thought you'd get away. That one and that one. Stay. So these 65 reissues are okay amps, but man, they make it hard to service. Like, I don't know why they put it like that. It's just so much more difficult than it needed to be. You would have thought they would have like put little cutouts in the board so you could actually like clean the pots out when they wear out, but no. Not interested in doing that one. Okay, so the pots can go there. Switches. Snitches get switches. Built with tiny, tiny hands. Yeah. There's a distinct possibility. That's not it. Come on, get it in the right hole. There we go. Alrighty. Switchy, switchy, switch. Switch 2 coming out soon, actually. That'll be interesting. Ow! Oh my god. Ah! That's sharp. Oof. There we go. Okay. One more screw. In like so. Cool. So now, should be able to just slide up like so, up like so, into there. I said to get in the hole, thank you. Excellent. Much better. Hey, have I been well? I'm surviving, kinda. A lot of things to deal with at the moment. The world is kind of crazy, and my world in particular is very crazy, so. I spent my Tuesday up with the missus helping my mother-in-law with stuff because she's now cruising down the path of dementia, so that means we've got my grandparents who are in the aged home under 24/7 care with dementia. My mother-in-law is starting to get dementia. My mother doesn't exist anymore. Yeah, so it's fun now. I am now the caretaker. I am now the caretaker of my generation, of my grandparents and that, and helping my missus with hers. So. About, yeah, BioWare and Dragon Age not being like the originals. That's what happens when EA gets their grubby mitts on everything, and then they have the hide to blame everything on it not being a live service game. Absolute junk. Yeah, like, the dementia thing, you always, you always see things about it online and how harrowing it is and that. But these early stages, it's it's hard. Like, it really is. Here's a woman who, not that long ago, was quite spry, used to go out traveling all the time and all the rest of that. Now, like, in her house, a little bit more kind of reclusive and that's why they're looking for somewhere for her to be in, like, an aged care, like a retirement village type thing, which can be at least sort of tended to somewhat. But yeah, like, while we were there, she was hanging up laundry and that, and she was outside, and then she came back in. And the confusion with it, she was like, I don't know why I was outside. And she came back inside, and she was honestly distressed by it. Like, you could see she's still cognizant enough to know it's there, but to, like, start going through this, to have your mind slip away whilst you know it, is utterly terrifying. It really is. So, you know, I'm 38. My missus is 34, so this is not the kind of thing you'd normally expect to go through at such a young age, but they had her quite late in life. Her sister is 51, I believe. I can't remember. I'm no good with remembering those details. But yeah, she's sort of older, so she's obviously been helping out and everything as well. So at that age, you kind of expect it, but not when you're in your 30s. So that's why I got to figure out what I'm going to be doing with my life over the next while, because things are going to be pretty crazy over the next couple of years. And, you know, trying to run a business whilst dealing with all of these things as well, and fighting an economy that's absolutely screwed, it's messed up. So, speaking of broken hips, she actually broke her hip last year while she was down in Tasmania. She was down there on a cruise and exploring like she used to do and that, and yeah, she broke her hip while she was in Tasmania, so she had to stay down there for ages, got a hip replacement and had to recover down there, and then came back up to Sydney. And unfortunately, like, traumatic events like that can actually cause acceleration of dementia and similar type things. It's going to be hard. So, because of everything that happened with my mother and my family and that, my partner and my sister-in-law went and made sure that everything was in check for my mother-in-law's matters. So they got enduring guardianship when necessary. They've got the will sorted, so everything's all split up as it needs to be. And yeah, that way it's not having to sort it out afterwards, because obviously if she's, you know, not able to sign and be, like, you know, understanding of what's going on, then it's a big legal process. Like right now, we are still fighting with the Supreme Court to get the letters of appointment for my mother's superannuation and details. So thousands and thousands of dollars of lawyers' fees, and we still haven't got a resolution to it, and it's going to be a fair while. That was here. So thankfully, the GoFundMe helped to a degree. That covered a chunk of it, but it's still ongoing and taking a while. And then fees will still add up, and then obviously the costs of being closed and everything. It's, you know, if you haven't already, everyone, I highly recommend going out there, getting your will done. Even if it's a basic one, you can do an update later if you change partners or change whatever. As long as the framework is there, then you've got that sorted. So, I recommend doing it. Do it today, do it tomorrow, do it ASAP, because you never know what's going to happen. One hour earlier in Sweden. Nice. Mrs. and I will eventually, hopefully, do a trip up to the northern areas. I definitely want to check out Finland. Because great metal scene, great industrial scene. And the missus wants to see Sweden and that as well. So we want to do like the Northern European trek. That'll come at some point. And yes, it is a drag. It really is. You know, I never thought I'd be here at 38 going, you know, I have basically very little family left. in one of the wildest times for the economy and the rise of fascism and everything else that's going on in the world. And I'm just like, okay, cool. Anyone want to buy some gear? I got stuff to buy. Anyone? It's like that scene from The Simpsons, where they're talking about Euro Disney. Come along, come see the place. Come on, my children, they need wine. There you go. Oh. Yeah, the US is a whole different thing. Here in Australia, for example, the state supreme court handles a lot of stuff. There's obviously appeals courts and that as well. Like, they does that. But, for example, my mother's murder trial, that is done through the state supreme court. So they handle matters like that. They handle very high value, like fraud cases and other similar things. And then, like, the administrative side is stuff like dealing with wills and estates and arguments for that kind of stuff. Local court, which is what like 95% of stuff goes through, is like most matters. So things like, you steal a car or something like that, it's dealt with at the local court level. But serious matters and stuff like that, like what we're going through, is the Supreme Court. Come on. There we go. Excellent. Alright. Doop. Okay. Let's make those all in the right spot there. There we go. Cool. Oh, my nose. Let's see how this sounds now. Let's see whether we got awful, crackly, nasty noise on here again. Hopefully that deals with it. I'm also going to tighten those screws down for the main board because for some reason it's just floating. You decided you need to see other people. Well, see, that's why you do what we did and just go poly. It's easier. It's the only way to survive in this current worldwide system. You need to have a polycule of at least 10 people to be able to afford somewhere to live now. Oh. Alright. That goes there. That goes there. That goes there. And thusly. What was this? I'm playing a Strat into a 5E3 head named Ford. It's Serial Time 112, named Volvo. Ha! Nice. Good stuff. Volvos are brilliant, man. Well, the old ones were, anyway. You can't kill a 244. Absolute machines. Where I am, the only solution is an LTE router. Fiber optics not reached the area yet. Yeah. Here in Australia, our former Labor government, from 2007 to 2013, was in the process of installing what was called the National Broadband Network, the NBN, and the plan was that over 95% of the population were going to be connected with fibre to the premises. Why? Because it made sense. Fibre to the premises is far more easy to upgrade. It is better for redundancy and outage. It is easier to upgrade in the future, and it uses far less power because the cables are passive. Easy. But then the Liberal government went in. Liberal government is our equivalent of the Tories, and they ripped it up and changed it because Murdoch didn't like it because it cut into his profits and all the rest of that. Because, obviously streaming and piracy, because this was just before streaming took off in Australia. Then they did that and they changed to what was called mixed technology. In other words, the government bought the HFC coax system from Foxtel in order to allow people to use the cable thing. Because in the past, like, you could get cable internet into your house, and that worked okay for a smaller number of things. But then they bought it and shoved a lot of people onto that network, and it struggled like hell. Then other premises were done with what was called fiber to the node. In other words, there'd be like a node box in areas, and then the last like 50 to a couple of hundred meters was using VDSL over copper lines. So you still got losses, you still got all that, and you still had thing. And then it went over budget because they said, oh no, it'll be cheaper than fiber. And now everyone's talking about how desperately we need fiber as a background. It was so incredibly dumb. Like, I was studying electronic engineering at TAFE when the change was announced, and our communications teacher actually got us to do an assignment comparing the difference between a fiber backbone versus a copper backbone in terms of real world maximum bandwidth, pros and cons of the fiber, and like even just like power differences as well. It was obvious, fiber. If you lay down a bundle of fiber like this thick, and it's got enough future carriage for everything. You can basically shove just more like bandwidth to light in there and have more band passes on the end, and then more ways of modulating. Copper, you can only send so much down there. You're going to get crosstalk. You're going to get losses in the line because it's still a low voltage, and you have to send that as power. A fiber system, even like in the event something goes completely arse backwards, you can still use a fiber system when the power's out, because the houses, for example, like our one that we used to live in, had a fiber box, and the fiber box actually had its own lead cell battery for backups. You could still make a phone call when the power went out because it's just passive. Light goes in, light comes out the other end. As long as there's power on both ends, it worked. So not everything needs to be a profit-making endeavor, but good luck trying to tell that to all the chuckle fucks out there who don't understand this shit. The overall benefit that we would have had having a fiber backbone everywhere would have been astonishing. But no, we can't have nice things here because the rich people want them all. We're not allowed to have any. End rant. Okay, let's see how this works now. Let's get some power. We're all plugged in, we're all good. That's there. Nothing shorting out. Sweet. Bonk. It's not just a telly. It's the most fucked up telly you've ever seen. I'll give you guys a bit of a tour afterwards. This thing is an absolute dog's breakfast, as we say in Australia. No, I can guarantee this one is going to beat it easily. Yeah, this body, oh. Alright, let's see how this sounds now. Let's try again. Yeah, I forgot to charge my forgot to charge the actual overhead cam. So, dope. 1 second. I'm just going to quickly pop to the car because I actually need to grab the chassis for it because I've got the foot switch in there. Hey, Alex, how we going? Wait, no, I don't need the foot switch. Duh. I just plugged in the plug. Duh. Herkadirk. Let's try that again. All right. All right. So we got trim. I can see we got the trim doing the thing. So, what we got here? So work from home for Vodafone. They don't want to spend the money because only about 10 homes in the village would get their services. This, I mean, kind of that type thing. In Australia, a lot of the places who are out in the middle of nowhere were going to be connected to like Sky Muster, which was a satellite service, or local 5G. So kind of works for that for smaller things. So sold my Strat for a telly years ago, and I don't miss it. I am far more a fan of tellies than I am of Strats. Yes. Mark, hey, Mark Ziza, how are we? NBN rant, yes. Bris Vegas, I actually have a friend of mine picking up something fucking cool on Sunday from a fellow tech who's doing a clear out of a thing, and I'm going to do a video on it next week because holy shit, this, like, oh my god, this thing is so cool. It's like awesome. Ain't got no crystal ball, yeah. When I pick up a telly, it feels like it has 13s on it. No, I can't use the damn thing properly. Anyone can use a telly properly. I like them without the stupid radius. Give me a proper radius on there, and we're good. Was the same for me to Becca's feeling the one. Good, yeah, blah, blah. Just feels stiff. See, I can play any guitar. I suppose that comes from playing as many as I have. So I've played everything both live and in the studio and here in the shop and as a repairer. There are very few guitars that I go, I really just can't play this. So you haven't been getting notifications. It's because you've got to go into YouTube. You've got to go to the notifications on your subscriptions or something like that and hit the bell icon and change it from the, oh God, I forgot what they call it, recommended or whatever it is, to all. Change it to all and you'll get all of that info. All right, let's see how this sounds. Nice. I might actually mod this one just to drop the speed on that trim a wee bit, because it is does the it doesn't quite go slow enough. Yeah, cool. But at least I know that works. Let's put it back in its cabinet. Let's see whether the reverb still works, because that's a bit of a key one. Now, shut up for the moment. Okay. Give me 1 second. I'm just going to quickly pop out and grab the chassis from the car. Chassis, not chassis. Cabinet, that thing. Doop, 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 doop. Hey. Whew, hefty. There you go. Stay. Okay. You motherfucker. Strap again. I need those straps there. And I need that. Huzzah. Gotta go. Missus wants some TLC. Well, you know, who are we to deny your missus some time? Okay, so they're all... So they're there. That's there, that's fine. Where the hell did that come from then? What the hell's that from? Weird. Couple of random extra screws here. What the? Oh, I think these are fresh replacements. Yes, they are. That's right, I got some nice ones, but you know what? I like the charm of this. I like it. So let's just keep it as is. Let's keep it a bit rusty. Bit rusty, bit rustic, and it'll be sold at a cheap price. Someone who wants something big and loud and clean. Something's been recapped. Upgraded screen grids. All that kind of fun stuff. Alright, y'all can get up out of the way. Whoop, let's not destroy things though. Stay. Oh, there we go. Ba 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 ba. What's this going to say? There we go. Oh man, my nose. Alrighty. Yeah, you hefty bloody thing. Let's zoom it out a bit, huh? There we go. Yeah, we can see the top half of it. I think I might give this a quick bit of a vacuum. Oh, there we go. Come here, bastard. Oh god, everything is dusty. Ugh. Oh no, we're going to be going through this shit. Oh. Don't care. Oh, yeah. Okay. Ugh. Great. Now my sinuses are going wacky. Bloody hell. Okay, in we go. Leslie. Yeah. Alright. In we go. Come on. In you go. Oi. Bloody bastard. No. What the hell? Hello? Yes. Am I supposed to go in there correctly? Why are you not? There we go. Stupid bloody thing. Come on. There we go. Now we got it. That's what I'm talking about. If I made a wish every time I sneeze, my God. I'm having them all the time. Interesting fact, the way that you sneeze is actually genetic. My biological father would sneeze multiple times. So when I sneeze, I will typically sneeze about 5 or 6 times in a row, if not more. There we go. Why does my phone keep going off? Alright, that thing. Austin Lydian Banks. Hi. Welcome to the madness. We are currently working on a Fender 65 twin reissue. Just made sure everything was all doing what it needed to do. Now I'm going to give it the closed up test with the reverb. That thing. Reverb. Come on, keep going. Well, if you want to learn how to work on this stuff, it's not exactly rocket science. You just got to be like reasonable about things. The first thing whenever it comes to working on any piece of equipment like this or kind of anything else is basic electronics. Once you know the basics, once you understand what volts are, what amps are, how those things connect and how they like interact with each other, and once you know how like the basics of amplification and resistors and Ohm's law and stuff like that work, then you're going to be able to read schematics and understand it. Yes, these are high voltage devices. There is some stuff in here that could theoretically kill you. You cop it at the wrong point in your heart cycle and it discharges across those paths, bam, arrhythmia, which may not kill you immediately, but it can actually kill you over time. The first thing I always recommend to anyone, build pedals first. Start with op amps and transistors. Start with low voltage stuff that if you even do something as stupid as stick your tongue inside of it, the worst you're going to get is a bit of a, that feels awful. Once you've got a couple of those under your belt, you spend a bit of time like reading and listening to people out there who know a bit better, because there are a lot of techs like myself, right, who are happy to share information with people. I'm not happy to share information with smartasses who just want me to give them the answer so that they can't learn. Absolute, like, just absolute morons. I'm not interested in that. So, like, someone who goes, oh, what, you know, this, I've got this here and, like, it's, you know, it's having an issue, it's, like, it's loud and noisy. What could the problem be? It's like, well, you haven't measured anything, you haven't done anything. No, I just want to know what the problem is. Okay, fuck you, don't want to help you. But somebody comes along and goes, oh, I've got this amp and all the rest of that, and I want to see if I can troubleshoot it and that. What do I start with? What do I need? You know, I've got a multimeter and I've got a screwdriver. Awesome. Go through, measure these things, write this down, and from there we can help you. I did something stupid when I was in my 20s, I think. I did a lot of stupid things in my 20s. Also, I think. I can't remember all of them. Really cool stream. Why, thank you. I'm not cool, but sometimes the streams can be. There we go. Stick it in the right hole. Come on. There we go. I think. Red one goes, nya. I said, nya. And the white one goes, nya. Like so. Okay. Oh, my poor freaking sinuses. Do. So we can plonk those in there. My car doesn't start. Why? Have you tried putting fuel in it? Do you know how many times I've had customers come in and go, oh, the pickup on my acoustic doesn't work. Have you changed the battery? Yes, I changed the battery. You open it up and you check it, the battery hasn't been changed since 2010. And you just look at them and go, okay, new battery in there. Oh, but I tried that and it didn't work. Did you really? This stuff isn't necessarily an art. There is some art to it, but it's still just science. It's troubleshooting. It's learning the basics. It's learning the steps. If you can fix anything, then you can follow the processes and technical stuff to be able to make an educated guess on most things. There's a lot of stuff that I have never worked on previously that I can pick up and go, okay, I think I can get the hang of this. I'll troubleshoot some stuff and, oh, that's how that works, that's what that does. Right, cool, awesome. And then, oh god, the amount of batteries that I see that have really, really terrible dates on them and they leak everywhere. And then you're like, sorry dude, not much I can really do about that. It's shit be fucked. Alright, let's move this screen out of the way. I need to set this up so I can actually do this properly. There we go. You move out of the way there. And you can come this way. Sweet. Nice. Awesome. Can mic that up well and truly. Mend Mark, yeah. Mend Mark is actually really good in what he does. So he goes through his process from start to finish and shows what's there. There are some times where he does things and I'm just like, no, that's not quite right. I shouldn't do it that way. But that's more like differences in how we approach things. There are some stuff when it comes to guitar amp or similar type stuff where I'm just like, no, nah, that's not it. That's not it, Chief. But he is very well versed and able to troubleshoot circuits that he doesn't even have schematics for. He is an absolute madman. It's kind of bad in that it's like that episode. There's a lot of times I will say it's like that episode of The Simpsons, but it's like the episode of The Simpsons where Apu is trying to make it up to Manjula, and all the guys in town are like, he's making us look bad. I get customers come in and they maybe expect that as the norm rather than it being a bit different. It's not feasible for a lot of things, unfortunately. Let's get power. Also, let us get a foot switch in there. We go foot switch. Foot switchy. Let's just use it up there. Now, where is this jack? Is it this side? No, that's the speaker. That's the power switch, so there it is. D-Lab. He is an interesting fellow. He does a lot of stuff that isn't right, has a lot of weird opinions, and he's an old ex-Air Force guy that's retired. Definitely not one who I would listen to every single word of his. He's not one I'd recommend. I'd probably put him like a C tier in the middle. Not the worst out there, but definitely does get some stuff wrong. Brad the Guitologist is a complete fucking crackpot and should never be allowed near a guitar or an amp ever. And that's excluding any of his weirdo, conspiratorial bullshit. He is awful. He's not good at what he does, and he's a weirdo. Uncle Doug, he has some really good basics videos, but then some other stuff where it's like, nah, not quite right, not quite the same. He's good in that, for example, his video series that he did on how triode and how power output works and how all that stuff works, they were good. They covered the basics and made them in a real he made them in a real understandable way for someone who isn't versed on electronics. I want to do something similar to that, in a little bit more of a highly polished kind of way, because he's pretty good. No, the guitarologist has always been... He's always been one of those guys. Like, you can go back to some of his old videos and you can hear it. He's very much of the, like, anti-SJW, anti-woke type thing. And the work that he did wasn't very good. Like, the video that he did on like, doing a refret on that Strat, it made me cry. It was like, oh my god, what in the ever-loving hell are you doing, my man? Okay, let's see whether this works now. We go bang, we go bang, okay. Dink. Da-ba-da-ba-dee. Alright. Alright, so that pot's still a little bit dicky, but you know what? It still works. Just like at the very end of it. That volume pot though is still a bit funky. a bit better. Yeah. How much to ship a pick to the US? Well, because of the changes to the de minimis laws, a lot. Unfortunately, you'd have to pay a import tariff on it, which is absolutely insane. Alright. It's time for me to go open the shop, and there's apparently someone standing at the door for some reason. So I'm just going to go quickly deal with him. I shall be back in a momentum. Don't run anywhere, because it's not like I'll be hitting customs. What can I do you for?
Seen some guitar strings, please.
Yeah, what are you after?
Just some like acoustic nylon
Alrighty, she's on the left hand side of the terminal when it wakes up. All done. Those are yours. Thank you. Yeah, 60 cycle will copyright it. Riff, tremolo, reverb, nah, can't do it. Sorry. It's alright. I got some crazy pedals out there that we can use to actually do reverb as an instrument. It's kind of cool. Awesome. This is ready to sell. Ah, you bastard. I'll screw this back together and then list it for a good price because it's in a bit of a bit of a state. Works fine, does what it needs to do. So, donk. But you know what? It's been given upgrades. It's been given the good stuff. But yeah, I've actually got a bunch of picks that I get made for the business every couple of years. I buy them in quantities of like 1,500, 2,000 at a time. And like these are the ones that I use for my own personal use. So they're like a Jazz XL in a 1mm. But I've got the standard Tortexes in all the common sizes. So 0.5, 0.5, 0.6, some 0.68, what is it? 0.73, 0.88, 1.0 and 1.14. So all of them because they are cool and they're easier than carrying business cards when I go to a gig or whatever. It's like, here you go, here's a pick. And then eventually they'll lose them, they'll end up in the washing machine, and then once they're in the washing machine, they'll come back out again and say, oh yeah, that guy, that's right. Cool. Alright, so we good there. Back and just hang it there, that's all fine there. Mamma mia. There we go. Rear cover. Sweet. Come here, though. Come here, you bastard. There we go. In we go. Come on. I said get in there, you bastard. Sweet. Oh yeah, I gotta put in those stupid bloody rear holders for the rear of the whatsie. Come on. Come here, though. There we go. Stay. Oh, there it is. Is it? Oh, shoot. Oh, there's a snapped off screw, that's right. Was there? No, they're just out of alignment. That'd do it. Ah, yes. I didn't know what Hammer Barn was until recently. I don't have a kid or anything like that, but I saw I saw something about Bluey, and they were talking about how there was an episode about going to Bunnings, and like Americans were absolutely like, "What is this place that you keep going on about?" And then they were like, "Oh my God, they actually did like a they did a like a setup of a Bunnings as a Hammer Barn." Still, Bunnings aren't great because they are one of the ones that enforces the monopoly on hardware and home goods and all the rest of that. We have no competition anymore like we did back in the day. Which sucks. There we go. Oh, there we go. Oh. Keep going. Go on, get in there. There we go. Excellent. I'm going to change those nuts because they are a bit screwy. Oh man. They're a bit rusty. I don't want them to be on there anymore. Crusty and awful. Come on. Come here. There we go. Okay. Let's use that one there. Okay, where's the other one? Ah, success. Huh. Well, that's problematic, isn't it? Don't tell me I have to take the whole bloody thing out again. Ugh. Bastard. I do, don't I? That sucks. Heat is awful still in Sydney. Do not like it. Do not recommend it. Oh, there we go. Alright. There we go. Okay, one more time of failing. Ah, you bloody idiot. That's pretty nasty. And it gets warm. Where's my cleaning cloth? Cleaning cloth, there you are. Sweet. Alright, get that, get a new nut. There we go. Much better. Seriously, that's the second one I dropped. Another thing that comes in handy with this stick. Not having to bend down and pick stuff up. Drop something, it's magnetic. Stick can grab it. Whew. There we go. Look, excuse me. Bloody hell. Alright, there we go. That looks a bit nicer. Doesn't look quite so awful and janky. Okay, come on. There we go. Right, these screws can go back in. Poor sinuses again. That one through. And then these ones. Oh, how's everything going over on this side? What do you mean it ever occurred? Okay, it's like, I thought my system died there for a moment, but nope, it's still there. Alright. Let's get this screwed back in. Bonk. There we go. Much better. Cool. That goes there. This goes here. Excellent. Now I can get the rear panel on properly. Turn the torque down. Important thing with these Fender style amps and that, make sure you've got your little dishwashers, your cup washers, whatever the hell you want to call them. If you don't have those, the screws just want to like bury themselves into the wood, and it is not ideal. But they're cheap, you can get them from any of the bloody amp part suppliers and that. And I see way too many amps coming in from customers that someone else has worked on them and they've not put those washers on. So the end result is that the screw just buries itself right inside. Okay, so I have a cup washer, but I don't have a screw. Oh, don't tell me that's what got sucked up in the vacuum before. Bugger. Okay, let's see what's inside of here. Not ideal. Oh, there we go. Ugh. God, this is going to make me go absolutely crazy. Magnet time. No. Oh, it's awful. Do not like it. Ugh. Don't recommend. Don't recommend at all. So where the hell did that screw go then? Right, so I am missing a screw to the rear panel. Good thing I got spares. To the hardware, buddy, bits and things. Mamma mia. Oh, itchy nose. Now, where'd all this amp hardware go? That's not it. There's the pickups, there's the capacitors. Yep. Hey. Okay, so those are the... Oh, that's where those bloody Lotsy went. Oh, where they got to. Now I know where that is, but it's not what I'm after. I'm after the other stuff. You bastard. Nope. Okay. Right. God damn it. Alright, I've misplaced my hardware. How annoying. Well, I'll find it afterwards. It's not too important, it'll survive with 3 for the moment. Caps nuts. Alright. Yep, sweet. Like, oh god, heavy. Heavy. Ah, you fucker. Okay. Whew. All right. I need to go wash my hands and my face. 1 second. even still here anymore. Is anyone here? Let me know in the comments. What am I going to work on next? Good question. Ain't really much else left in the queue, is there? Hey, there we are. What have we got? Speakers for that should hopefully arrive later today, maybe on Monday or Tuesday. That one's okay, that I've done. That, I don't know what's going on with that bastard. That thing's complete. This thing, right. Right. There you go. Alright. There we go. So we got ourselves a Classic 30 head, of all things. These didn't sell quite as much as the combo versions for obvious reasons, but they're cool. They work well. They sound just like a Classic 30. They're built just like one as well. There we go. That can go away that way. Yeah, this particular one came from the venue across the road. It was sitting there for months. Basically, the owner took it there, was playing a gig and that, and someone plugged the wrong thing into the wrong spot, and kaboom boom, it went bang. So I need to assess it to see whether it's worth repairing, or whether the repair costs are going to outweigh any potential replacement costs. So could be this one becomes Cactus. I just let them know, at which point they will write a check for the equivalent value of it. And straight away I can already see something. So I can see that there is a bad tube. More than one bad tube, actually. There's a couple of bad ones in there. Yeah, so those two there have gone Cactus. They're side by side, so they're both going to be on the same node. So one of the tubes has gone bad and then carried the rest. So the story is that this was a, they were playing there at a gig, and someone used a guitar cable to plug this into the cabinet. And that can cause all manner of hell, because what happens is a guitar cable, the conductors are too close, they can heat up, they can short out, and if that happens, well, that can cause issues with this. You might get a flyback event or similar if the tube goes, if the cable goes open. Yeah, so straight away we've already got two bad tubes there, and this one's also fading as well, so it looks like we've got some thermonuclear red plating happening. Where's your control? There it is. Like so. Now, for those of you playing the home game, JJ logos aren't supposed to be white, but they do go white when you get way too much heat. Obviously, you know, tubes are going to output heat, but specifically when you're going to get heat through the plates. So when a plate goes bad, it takes out, it puts a lot of heat through the outside of the tube that's beyond just the actual heater itself doing its thing. So here's the tube that was directly next to it, and you can see as well that one's also got some heat fading. Now that may just be because of their placements. They were placed side by side like that. It could just be the heat from this was so intense it was actually radiating over to that. Another possibility, this tube goes bad. They're both together on the same side of the amp. What ends up happening is it basically, this one goes along with it as well. Kills the bias, shorts things out, current goes through where it shouldn't, and yeah. Richard, mate, how are we? So we've got another one here. Doesn't look too bad. Let's get some light happening, actually. There we go. Didn't have my bench light on. Yeah, so this one's not too bad exteriorly. This one has a little bit of fading on this side as well, so There may have been a catastrophic event that caused those tubes to go, but straight away we're already at about $160 to $180. Yeah. Oh, nice. Now these amps, the combo versions, go for like $450 in good condition. The head versions, you know, not quite as much, obviously, because it's the head. So straight away, we're already at like half the value of replacing this just in parts. That's excluding anything else. So I'm getting the feeling this shall end up as a insurance write-up. Whilst I can fix it, it will cost more than what it would to purchase another one second-hand, and the customer was already looking at selling it anyway, so he's, you know, mainly playing drums or something at the moment, so it's not really an amp that he's going to have any amount of need for, and he's going to look at selling it. But I've still got to do the right thing by all parties involved and check. Got to make sure that we've got the correct information to go out, so I can at least go yay or nay, it's worthwhile replacing or it's worthwhile repairing. If it's worthwhile repairing, then we go down that route and the venue will pay me. If it is not worth it, then the what the hell? Oh god. Then the venue will pay old mate who owns the amp. Now that's bloody annoying. There's like junk in this bloody screw here, screw head. Right here, can't get the screwdriver actually into it. This is actually a thing that you see with a lot of amps that are going out and they get dragged around and stuff, and then the screws underneath get full of crap. People will try and shove a screwdriver in there and then they just twist it and rotate it, and what ends up happening is they strip the screw out so you can't actually get the damn thing out of the way. I mean, all you have to do is just get something, like I like to use a really small flathead screwdriver and just dig it in just to clear it out. Because if those screwdrivers don't have purchase in there, they're just going to ream out the top of it and compact what's in there down. That's not what we want. There we go. Excellent. Now I should be able to remove it. Get in there. Oh, itchy nose. Seriously, the dusty stuff. Zoom out. Yes, PV Classic with the same board. It's the same amp as a Classic 30 combo, but it's in head form. Somebody has worked on this previously. Reason why I know is because these side screws, only one of them has the reinforcement washers, whereas all the top ones did. So someone who's worked on it has not replaced all of those washers. Seriously, guys. If you're going to lose stuff, at least just replace it. They're not hard to find. They're just washers. Even if they're mismatched and they're underneath, they're out of sight, but at least it's the right thing. If you know what I mean. Alright, come here. Come on. Out you come, you mofo. Right. Come on. I said come. Oh, that's alright, these bloody things. I gotta unplug the... What's he from that? Come on. Oh, here we go. Old Fender style connections. Oi. Oh, hi Mark. Yeah, come on, you... There we go. Ow. Those tubes are sharp, surprisingly. There we go. Come on. Come here, there. Come on. Come. Make sure it doesn't capture on the tweed, or the twill as it actually is. There we go. Oh. Excellent. Alright, you go out of the way down there. And we take a bit of a look here. Yeah, that's classic 30. Just like every other one. There are many like it, but this one is this customer's. Oh god, dust in the eye. Seriously. I would not recommend this job for anyone who has issues with hay fever. It's awful. Okay, let's see. Yeah, so. Alright, so we don't have any splooging out the end of the caps thus far, which is pretty good. I spoke too soon. Ooh, that is oh yeah. Wow, that is pretty bad. Pretty bad indeed. Let's see, can I get this in on such a way that we can see it? Zoom right in. Look at that. Like I bought one. Right about there. Look at that. It's like a waterfall of snot. Horrid. Terrible. Ah, dust. So right there on the end of that cap, splooge. And then on the other side, the same, but worse, kind of. This one has distinct bubbling up of the end cap of the end of the things there. So yeah, so there's definitely something going on there. In the event that the wrong thing was plugged in, it's not common, but if those caps were already getting tired and there was a flyback vent or something like that, or something that really dragged a lot of current through that, that can cause the caps to overheat. If the ESR is high and then suddenly, instead of like trying to throw out like 40 milliamps of current, it's now trying to throw out 80, that's double as much current through those tubes, which can cause that to accelerate and go bad. Like I said, not common, but theoretically possible. And that's what I've got to work out. It's like, you know, what is theoretically possible, what potentially has happened, what is something that they will pay for versus what is stuff that is not. Okay, I need multimeters. Yeah, that's why my nose is insane. I'm scratching like, ah. Now running like mad because just dust and gunk everywhere. It's sucks ass. Whew. Oh god. Multimeter. Some multimeter. Now let's power this up on the Variac. Just nice and slowly, make sure there's nothing too crazy shorting on there. Power meter. I should point that in the correct direction. There we go. That'll do. Shake everything around because my light's attached to it. Okay. And nothing short in there. Goodo. Come on, charge. Thank you. Takes a moment for it to wake up. Okay, so I'm about 10%. Now let's see what we got on the secondaries here. Oh, okay, I don't even need to do that. Duh. I'm an idiot. There is a distinct blown fuse that I can see here. I can also see more goop coming out of that. Once more feeling. Let's try that without being an idiot. And I have dedicated fuse pullers. They make the job so much easier rather than messing around. Come on. There we go. Sweet. Wow, yeah, that is completely... She's gone. Very gone, actually. So what is that? That's a 2 amp fast blow. 2 amp fast blow, 3 AG. Okay. Fuses. There we go. 2 amp. 2 amp, 2 amp, quick blow, 2 AG, 3 AG, sorry. The fast blow 2. There we go. That's what we want. Fast blow 2 amp fuse. That's going in on the main. So if that's on the primary side, that could be a bad transformer. Why are you not clicking properly, you bastard? Come on. There we go. Okay. Alright. So we've got that in there. Now let's monitor current slowly on this mamma jamma. I'm going to do it with the primary and the secondary is disconnected. That way I can just isolate whether it's a transformer that's gone bad. If the transformer's gone bad, then we'll see it straight away on the meter here. The current will basically just sort of run away. Dunk. Right. So the fact that I am at a grand total of like less than 20 watts. Less than 20 volts, and I'm already pulling 17 watts of current on an unloaded transformer. It's gone. We have a short in the primary or the secondary, or maybe a primary to secondary short. That's cactus. So we've got dead tubes, dead transformer. This is a write-off. So she's dead. It is worth all of the sum of whatever spare parts are left in here, which, let's be honest, is not much. I mean, even on something like this, for me to like rebuild it and then sell it, I wouldn't recoup the time and the parts to repair this. That would need a set of output tubes, which is like $160 to $180. New transformer, which if PV locally have them is like 100 and something bucks. Then there is the caps, because they're all leaky, and the time to get that done. So that's like an hour and a half worth of work there. It ain't worth it. This is the grim reality of what I've got to tell customers when they come in for repairs. Sometimes stuff just isn't worth it because the numbers don't add up. Why would you put that kind of money into fixing something like this when you could spend an equivalent amount of money on a second-hand unit that already works? You could buy a second-hand unit and spend more money on getting that like bulletproofed and changing stuff like the caps out, and it will be a better value proposition than doing it to this. It would still be cheaper. So, yeah. Alas, he's dead, Jim. Oh, man. So, it's not good. These are not good at all. But, what can you do? I wonder, is the output transformer bad? Because they're usually okay. I have to see what I can do to find a replacement transformer for this jobby, maybe. I mean, there might be a second-hand one around somewhere, or, I don't know. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe I'll just use it as like a blank chassis to do something with if the customer doesn't want to keep it. We'll see how we go. The output transformers aren't worth much on these. They very rarely fail. They are pretty good. I mean, if I were to sell the output transformer in this thing, because they are absolutely minuscule, they're tiny. Look at that thing. Nothing. It'd probably be like a $30, $40 part, if that, secondhand. So, not really worth it. Alright, so I shall call the customer up and let him know that it is dead. There's a distinct possibility that that failure happened as a result of a incorrectly connected cable causing massive failure, so No, of course I didn't bloody tell you I was streaming while I was chatting, because I was streaming. That's why I did. That's why it took me ages to respond to you. Not my fault you don't have bloody notifications turned on for me. No, not more than that. A second-hand transformer for something like this, because they don't sell very often. Ow! Fuck. They're not going to move for a huge amount of money. No, I had to respond to you and tell you that you were being a fucking boomer. Fucking no one uses Discord. Fucking what shit is that? Everyone uses Discord. Afternoon? Something I can help you with? Something I can help you with?
Oh, yeah, man.
Not bad.
Hey, you don't have any Japanese straps.
I've only got a 86 Boxer Series strap with locking trim.
Okay. Another thing I was looking for was a Fender Super 60. And
Super 60.
I know they're a bit
no.
hard to get.
I mean, not so much hard to get. More so, not a huge number of them were sold. Of the Red Knob series, they were like the ones that were sold the least.
Yeah.
Usually, it was like the Showman and the Twin that sold a lot more.
Okay.
So I've got a Red Knob Twin available, but that's about it.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I played one and I like the sound of them.
Yeah,
Nice,
they're very different to most Fenders. They're more like the way they're designed is designed closer to a Mesa Mark series.
Okay.
Mm.
Alright. Is there anything similar you can get to that? Like modern?
Not really. Most companies kind of moved away from what those amps were doing back then.
Okay.
The only thing is, like I said, the Fender Red Knob series of that era, so the Twin, the Showman, and that will do a similar thing. So I've got a Red Knob Twin available. That's about 1500, but they're much larger and chunkier. They're a 212 100-watt,
Yeah.
very big, very loud.
Yeah, I think this one was 60 watts.
Yeah, 60 watt, 112,
Yeah.
small version. It's basically the baby brother of it.
Okay. So they're pretty hard to get, huh? Because they weren't sold for long.
Yeah, not a huge amount of people sold them, and a lot of them honestly broke down and died.
Okay.
They're very hard to repair, very complex amps.
Alright.
Most people don't want to spend the money to fix them.
Alright, no worries, man. Actually, yeah. You don't have that guitar here?
Yeah, it's just the one on display up there. That kind of thing there.
Oh, okay.
So good for like hard rock and similar type styles and that.
Yeah. What's something like this go for?
That one 1500.
The Japanese one, huh?
Yep, from 86.
Okay. This is the thing, I don't like printed books.
All Strats are going to have painted necks.
Yeah?
So they'll all have some kind of lacquer on there. That's just the way they've always been.
Yeah. Thank you.
No problem.
Thanks, buddy.
He's done.
Have a
Catch
nice
again.
day, man.
You too. Afternoon. What can I do you for?
The guitar strings.
Yeah, what are you after?
Stick ones.
Steel string, nylon string?
It's the steel one.
Yep. Yep. That'll do the jobby. Alrighty, $19 for those. It's on the left-hand side of the terminal. All done. Those are yours.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
So there are 2 sets of ringing here?
No, it's just one set.
Oh, one.
Yeah, one full set.
Thanks, man.
That's good, that's good. And that's going to be the highlight of my day. No, you're being a boomer as well. Boomers aren't entirely stupid. If they can handle Facebook, they can handle Discord. Discord is not that hard. It's like a chat room. I'm sure they would have used them all way back in the day, and they would have gotten caught up with things like, Russian pretending to be Russian women and all the rest of that. I would like to come marry you. Ah, Chris, gotcha. Who's got a red knob? Yeah, I have a red knob. Actually, it'll be the next thing up on the bench now, which is the sun. You want an unpainted neck? Yeah, it's kind of weird, man. I don't know. It was one of those things where he's just like tried something or checked something out. He's just wanted a Japanese strat. Beyond that, there wasn't much else that he was sort of looking for, and that's kind of the extent of the customers I get here these days. I don't get many people coming in looking for particular things or coming in looking at something I've seen on the website or Reverb or whatever else. I just don't see many people now. My repair queue is now officially empty. I have nothing to work on. I've only got stuff to fix to sell, so that's all I'm working on now. Oh yeah, there we go. The only other stuff that's in the queue are things that I'm currently waiting on parts for to arrive. And there's only about 5 or 6 of those in there. That's it. Finished my last repair yesterday. Oh wait, I lie. I have one guitar to set up. So that'll be done this afternoon. I'll do guitar setup later today. Alright. Ugh. Dust again. Seriously. Oh, I hate it with a passion. I hate it so much. I can go through there. Like so. Oh, it's going to go down. Right. I'll do it. There we go. Yeah. I'm here at the shop and I will be here all day as I do, and I'll just sit around trying to deal with stuff. I don't know. Maybe I'll be lucky. Maybe someone will walk in with a repair for me. Because ain't no one buying anything, that's for sure. Yeah, bit of 1200 grit sandpaper, bam, that'll knock it down. I've never found an issue with necks being sticky or anything like that. I'm usually, I play anything, I don't care. I got guitars with painted necks, I got oiled necks, I got matte finish necks, I got gloss necks, I got poly. Do I have any nitro guitars left? I actually think I've sold all my guitars that had nitro. Because they were annoying as shit. Nitro is just, yeah. Poly's fine. Oh man. Ah, itchy. Itchy, itchy, itchy. Oh man. Okay. So that's that done there. Who wants to see a really, really, really rare uncommon amp here in the West? Something that you guys probably didn't even know existed. Well, lucky you. Unfortunately, I'm more of a failure than you are, so people don't like me as much, so I don't see as many customers anymore. I'm just a washed-up has-been of a repair tech these days, apparently, so I'm in the most bloody whatsy. See, I don't know if I would decline all of them. Some of them, maybe. Ugh. Iron filing and dust on here, annoying. Ugh. I need a bit of blue tack to clear off this magnet. One sec. Okay. If ever you get stuff on your bloody pickups or whatever else and you want to clean it off, or magnets or whatever, blue tack. Blue tack will generally get it all off. Roll it around. Catches it in there. Cleans it off. Way better. See, you say you're stupider, but you're the one who's got like, you know, you're the one who's got cash flow. You're the one who, you know, has business. Yeah, see, the acoustic stuff like that, I don't take on anymore. I don't have the time or space to do it anymore. But amps and electronics, yeah, sure. Setups, refrets, nuts, all that jazz. That's all good stuff. Yeah, that is pretty insane. Anything that Bogner's name was attached to with line 6 is garbage. Spider valves are repairable though, but the DT series and the Alchemists, absolute junk. The DTs especially, Christ, can't get access to anything in them. Awful. Alright, here we go. Here's something that'll spin you out. Bit of a history lesson too. Oh my god. Oh, Christ. Wait. Hefty. Oh my god, the weight's a ton. It's awful. Oh, and my mat's getting... God damn it. I'm going to fix this mat up. Alright. So this big bloody hulking beast of a thing is what happens when you have two companies both distributing your product. Oh man. Let's point that a bit more over that way. There we go. History lesson time. In the mid-1980s, Fender was being sold off by good old CBS. They were divesting themselves of it. What they did was they sold it to Bill Schultz, who was managing things there at the time, and a consortium of investors. That sale only included the IP, the plans, the designs, and all that. Had none of the manufacturing facilities, so the original factory was not included, which meant that suddenly they had nowhere to manufacture guitars or amplifiers. So there was actually the period for a couple of months there where you couldn't actually get a American-made Fender. They were all made in Japan for that brief period. The previous contracts that they had with the Japanese factories, so Tokai, Fujigen, that kind of thing, allowed them to continue production whilst they set up a new factory, which they did in Corona, California. Now, that was the guitar side of things, but what about amps? They had no amp manufacturing facility. Well, Sun was kind of on its tail end of its life. You know, it'd gone from being a company that did phenomenal stuff, that had like PAs and backline and all the rest of that behind some of the biggest acts in the world, to a company that was kind of struggling and finding its way. They were located in Lake Oswego. Fender bought them. Fender bought the company and that because it came with the manufacturing facilities and everything as well. Fast forward to when they started manufacturing and the likes, and the designers that were there, they started, the Sun team and that, started creating some of their amps. These were the Red Knob series, which most people know of from the era. People mistakenly call them the Evil Twin, which is incorrect. The Evil Twin came after. The Evil Twin was a blackface styled amp that was 2-channel. That was a twin with a higher gain second channel. These were based kind of closer to a Mesa. They were Mesas in kind of like how their gain topology and that worked, so early EQs, all that kind of stuff, stacked, etc., etc. They were also kind of weird in that they actually had an input on the front so that you could actually plug in and run both channels clean and dirty at the same time. Wild. Now, Japan, of course, was a big market for Fender. So Fender was being sold in Japan. That's why they had the Japanese domestic models, and they started making the JV series Strats and similar for the domestic market. You had two companies over in Japan that were distributing. You had, oh God, drawing a blank on them. Yamato? Yeah, the guys who also did Gibson and Fender themselves. So they were both selling them. Now, there was something that happened with the amps and all the rest of that, and naming rights and all that kind of stuff. There was a whole legal thing that happened. So what ended up happening was they sold some of the Fender amps under the Sun name. That's how you ended up with the Sun the Twin, which is a red knob twin with a different logo, different aesthetics, but it's the same amp inside. So you'll notice that there's no red knobs on this red knob because they're all black. Later versions of the red knob would also come with black knobs, but the original ones all came with red. Even things like the tie-down straps for the chassis are actually black, so there's no chrome, none of that on there. Everything about this is just standard red knob twin, but it's an interesting sort of bit of history with how Fender, Sun, and their Japanese markets ended up being what they were. So, bit of a history one there for you. So these were only ever sold in Japan, and unless you look over in international markets, you won't see them anywhere. So it's kind of cool. Let's crack it open. Let's get it some service because this needs. Input jacks are screwed, and obviously it's got leaky caps, which happens with all of these, and I'm going to convert this to 240 because pretty much all of the red knob stuff that was export had universal primaries. So the DTs are a disaster waiting to happen. Yes, that is correct. There is too much complication going on there, which causes them to go and they die. Erasure Warwick ProFet 3.2 bass amp, powerboard busted, mended with electric wire. Ugh. The Warwick stuff in general is not great. Not great at all. Oh, fuck. Can't. Let's try that again. Oh. Ow. I'm doing well. I'm fine. I'm fine. Ay, ay. Alright, come on you. Get out of the way. What are you doing? Oh man. Ow. I bashed my elbow. Okay. Based on wheels. What's kind of cool about this one though is it actually has the original the manual. It's got the manual, the foot switch. Look at that. Even the original hang tags. Something else that's impressive is that it has the original paper schematics. Look at that. Paper schematics, the layout thing as well. So yeah, that's how they shipped back in the day. They were actually like, hey, would you like to repair your stuff and keep it going for a long time? Why yes, yes I would. Thank you. Cool. So the neat thing about it is if we take a look at the schematic here. Here we go, like so. So the schematic's great because it actually shows how the wiring works. So 220, 240 volt export wiring there, and then 100 volt export wiring there, which is what this is on. So this is on 100 volt Japanese export. Kanda Shokai, that was the company that was doing distribution. Kanda Shokai, aka Tokai, I believe. I don't know. My brain's not quite working. The owner wrote the settings? No. You'd get amps back in the day and they just have this here so you could just like save whatever things you want. But here we go, this is like sample settings, what you get in there. And then in the book itself, there's sometimes back in the day there'd be like a little section with the, no, this one doesn't have it. Sometimes back in the day you'd have amps, and what they'd have is they'd have the like a diagram of the front panel, and you'd actually be able to use that to like sketch your own stuff in there. So you could like save your settings however you had them. Oh man. Let's get rid of the things here. Drill, baby, drill. a manuals cover? Nah. Nah, it just has that. Oh, actually, you know what? I think you're right. Holy shit. I wondered what those numbers were. Ha! Okay, let's try that out afterwards once I give this all its once over. Okay, it's kind of cool. Come on, you bloody thing. Oh, itchy. Now, this particular one was given its electronic sound test by R. Patel. I don't even have a garage. I got nothing. I've been trying to get my shop organized, but there's only so much time I have in the day, so I usually use the afternoons to go through and try and find shit to sort out and put stock in places and rearrange stuff. Ugh. All right, come on then. Here we go. Let's zoom this out. There you can see the black straps on there, comparative to the usual ones that you see on a brain work. A regular Fender amp. There we go. I know I'd get there eventually. Excuse the mess on my bench. I don't care. Oh man. Alrighty. Sorry, not here. Leave voicemail. Them must be some long ass screws. My God. Yes, well, it's not your bench, it's my bench. It's very tiny, it's very cramped, and I can only do with it what I can. Unfortunately, between the executive dysfunction and the time constraints that I have from having to run around and deal with multiple family members with dementia and all the other fun things in my own sort of head, there's only so much I can really do, so it kind of gets to a point where I'm like, you know what, I don't care. Ugh. I'm just trying to survive, man. Come on. Come on. What are you stuck on? Fuck yeah. Yeah. Towards the owl. Yes, I know, but there are certain things I'm a little sensitive about. Because I do hate the mess. It is annoying. It sucks. I would prefer if it wasn't messy, but time and various other things make that very, very difficult. Oh man, there we go. Oh, come here. Come on. Wee, hefty bastard. There we go. Oof. Okay. Oh, you idiot. I forgot to take them off. I'm having a brain dead moment. I forgot to take the straps off. Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, kind of triggered. Literally. Because it is that thing where it's like my entire life has been being told that I am not doing well enough because I'm messy or I'm disorganized or I couldn't get things done on time, so I reflect on things myself and it becomes hard and I'm like, I'm failing and letting people down and I should be doing better than this and blah, 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 blah. It's fucky up here, man. Up here ain't easy to deal with. Okay, where was I? That's where I was here. Yum. Alright, cool. So those resistors are not ideal. So, interesting thing about these ones as well is on the back of the amp there is math, like formulas and stuff. They're complex amps for the era, so you got a preamp in, power amp out, a power amp in, and a power amp through, which is kind of wild. Loop level, so for your different effects levels. Output bias adjustment, so you've got a like a thing you can shove your probes in here, tell you what your bias should be. Output bias balance, so you can balance between the two. Foot switch, obviously. Balanced line out, which has pin 1 floating. And then speaker outputs, which actually has the formula for how to calculate speaker impedance on there. Which is kind of weird. It's also on the back of the red knobs, but a lot of people don't realize it and don't understand it. There we go. So there's the formula there. Z1 plus Z2 equals Z total, right? When you're running them in series, because on this amp you can actually put them in series. Otherwise you've got main and extension in parallel, which is equal to the parallel formula there, Z1 times Z2 over Z1 plus Z2. That's how you end up with putting two speakers in parallel and getting, if they're the same value, half the amount. And if they're different values, less than half the amount. Imagine having to work on a friend's bass electronics at his home where you have 30 centimeters bench space and only one available outlet. Yeah, some of the schools I work at. Yeah, go on, go get a proper winding machine. I'll come in handy for something. Okie dokie. Now, looking through this amp, we've got all the standard bits and bobs for caps. The caps surprisingly aren't actually leaky, which is wild. They've not been used overly heavily over the years. Now these tubes, I think are actually the original ones that shipped with it. Yeah. Ancient, no-name 6L6 GCs with a little... What is that? Oh, that's... Ew, there's like wax or something on top. Ew. What the hell? What the bloody hell is that? Where's my, let's use a pick on it. Yeah, just like random wax or something. I have this feeling maybe somebody has like left a candle or something on top of the amp. Like burning candles. Not good. I mean, fine if you want to capture that real sort of mid-90s MTV Unplugged vibe, but outside of that, not quite so good. Yeah, so they got the bottom getters there, so I think they might be Chinese. Old Chinese. I doubt they're US. They might even be, but they might be Japanese ones. Might be Japanese Toshibas. Manufactured 5th of the 1st, 1989. Okay. So we've got those out. What are the preamps consisting of? Come here. Whoa, yep. Look at that label. Ha! Holy hell. That's cool. Yum. Look at that sticker. That's cool. And the random like Fender logo on there. Yes, that would back up my hypothesis that the output tubes are Chinese as well. next one. Yep, also 12x7 China with a weird label. $12x7, weird label, Chinese. Ooh, pointy too. Sharp and pointy. Made in India. Whoa, okay. Huh. All right, National 12AT7A, made in India. Okay. That's a thing. I, in all of my years, have never come across an Indian-made tube. One would assume that there would have been factories in India producing tubes, you know, British rule and all that kind of jazz. There probably would have been something set up there, courtesy of like Mullard or similar. Huh. Another Chinese 12AX7. Come on. Another Chinese 12AX7. And what have we got in the last slot for the 12AT7? Also, Indian-made 12AT7. Huh. Wild. The things you find inside a random amps, huh? Okay. Now, I know at a minimum those jacks at the front, they're going to need replacing. Do these caps and then convert to 240. Yep, true Japanese style. It's got a US plug on there, but you cut the ground off of it. There we go. Okay, what's this resistor value? 2.7K. Might have a 2.7K actually. It's a 10 water. Now, let's move those out of the way. Oh yeah, okay, there we go. Hey, Leslie, and there. All right, wind it out. Okay. Now let's get these knobs out of the way. Surprisingly good tool if ever you want to like remove knobs from something and they're like smaller kind. Like knob pullers won't work or you can't easily get spoons in. This is an old IC extractor. Arms go behind the knob. Just give it a bit of a pull, give it a bit of a yank. Okay, I don't want to damage this pot. Please don't die. There we go. Thank you. There we go. Too many push-pull pots. Ugh. I hate it when they get old and the pots, the knobs stay on there too long. Good England. When they stay on there too long, they grab, and then when you remove it, you almost like tear the shaft off. Oh god, this is so mid-1980s. Every second bloody thing has a push-pull pot on it. Dusty. Old sticky knobs. Yep. Where did I put the thing? Next size up. There she goes. Yeah, pretty similar. They're just like a D-shaped shaft internally, molded white plug, like the squared off ends on the top there. So they're the same knobs as found on all of the Fender solid state stuff in the 80s as well. Okay, now where's my magnetic grabber? There we go. These ones magnetic. There they are. Good-o. Come on, you bleeding. There we go. Yeah, I was saying earlier on stream that when I went to go book in some packages for shipping yesterday, on the front page is this big thing saying all packages now going to the US, regardless of country of origin, if the contents contain made in China goods, they are subject to tariffs, regardless of value. Previously, you could send stuff to the US and it'd fall under the de minimis clause. In other words, it's too little for us to bother caring about actually doing anything about the value of the item, so it'll just go through it. It's like $800 or something. But now they've changed it so that it is every item that goes through now has to be checked by customs and that, and it's going to be absolute hell for the next while. I just realised what the time was. It's almost lunchtime. Almost, not quite. Okay. Come on. Out you go. Much better. Complex as shit. Even an inductor on there too. Everything is subject to tariffs. This is what's making everything hell for everyone. If it's made in China, there are now blanket tariffs on most things coming from there. If I sell someone like a pedal or a part or an instrument from here and it's from China and it goes to the US, they're going to have to pay tariffs on the way in. So expect an almost immediate 10% increase in the cost of stuff over there. Kind of sucks. Okay, I need those switchy jobbies. Let's move this out of the way. Okay, tall standoff box jacks. They're the short ones. There we go. Tall box jacks. One, two. Three and four. Sweet. Excellent. All right. Up I get. Oh. Now on. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the reason why I'm replacing all the jacks on this twin is the same reason I replace all of them on whenever one goes bad. The way that these work for the inputs of the channels is you can plug into inputs into channel 1 and channel 2 for yeah. So you can use inputs only for switching mode, and you can use the other ones for parallel mode, so you can actually run both channels at the same time. If one of these jacks goes bad, it doesn't route things where it needs to, so you either lose a channel or you lose signal entirely. Entirely. I'm not doing a bad buddy racist impersonation, I swear. So these have some pretty complex switching inside of them. They've got 9 contacts. There's a ground connection, tip ring sleeve, and they're each switched. So when one of them doesn't make contact anymore, you end up losing your ability to send the signal where it needs to go to. That's regardless of if anything's actually plugged in. 300, 220, yep, I've got plenty of those. Yeah, 220 at 300, I should say. 47s, I've got a chunk of them, and those are going to be 22s. Got plenty of those. So. Why is this buddy stuck on there? Stupid cheap Chinese junk. It's lunchtime soon. I'll probably replace these bloody input jacks, and then what's he at? Voltage divider. What voltage divider? Ain't no voltage divider on this one. The twin, like the old AB763s and that they are, these ones have stupid bloody parallel input routing. Okay. Come on, you buddy then. This board has the wrinkly scrotum syndrome. If you look in closely at a lot of boards from this area in the 80s, the solder mask, you'll see that the traces are like, they're all wrinkly. Oh, those ones, yeah. Yep. They weren't exactly very good on the that design front. There you go. So if we zoom in and we take a look here at like traces up the back there, you can see that they're like wrinkly. That's because you don't actually have to like put tin on the solder masks. So what would happen is you'd end up, back in those days, you'd tin all of the PCB in that, and then you'd run the solder mask over the top of it, and then when you run it through like the wave solder machine and that, it would cause it to wrinkle and actually cause some of the solder mask to wrinkle up with it as well. Yeah, they weren't very smart when they did these. Just a little bit of fresh solder just to remind it. Sometimes the answer to making desoldering easier is to actually add more solder. Some nice fresh stuff with a little bit of flux in there will help recrystallize it, break it down a bit. Get rid of any oxide that might be on the surface. Okay. That's good, that's good. This one good, and that one good. And now we clear it out. Go away. Okay. Let's go wide. There we go. And yes, I'm using desolder braid because on boards like these that are so fragile, I like it because it acts like a heat sink as well. Just makes it easier for getting rid of the old gunk on there without lifting pads and destroying things. Come on, grab it all. There we go. Get it all up. It's kind of fascinating. It's like those the old ads you'd see on TV about like those magic cloths that would pick up all the liquid. Wow. You mean to tell me this little piece of cloth braid here can pick up all of that solder? That's right, Billy, and I'm going to show you how. Look at this. Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 10 solder pads entirely clear to their solder. Wow, from that much braid, that's amazing. Now, that's got to be an expensive bit of kit there. Oh, you'd think so, but I tell you what, it really isn't. I'll bet you that this costs half as much as what you're thinking. And just to make sure, what we'll do is I will give you 2 for the price of 1. Yeah. Throwback to the days of old daytime TV in Australia. You have like Ian Turpie hawking his wares on those shows. You bastard, come on. Okay, come on. There we go. Yep. Order now and we'll throw in this free set of steak knives. But hurry, only today. And only for the next 45 callers. Where was I? That's right. Doing more of this stuff. Let's cut the excess off. There and in the bin. Yeah. And the thing I don't like about solder braid is it gets bloody hot. Who'd have thunk being a good thermal conductor would mean that it gets hot? There you go. Blood on that one. There we go. Ginsu knives, yeah. Yep, we had the Nikkei knife. That was the one that we had mainly in Australia and New Zealand. Nikkei knife, #1. Cool. One more. Jesus Christ. Ah, yes, snail slobber cream. All the random stuff they're hawking to people to keep themselves looking good for longer. Ow. Shut up. Yeah, I've seen the stuff. Like the Korean beauty things and that, like snail masks and shit. Oh, wait. I missed a pin. It's kind of wild. Pretty messed up. Alright, let's try. Ow! Haunts! Fucking can't. Alright. There we go. Dunk. Sweet. That one's gone. Yeah, old school. These were half decent though. Made in Japan. Oh wait, no, US part number that, Japanese part number that. So, not made in Japan. Probably made in China still. Alright, cut the excess off. Well, one of the best things you can do to maintain a youthful appearance and all the rest of that is avoid the sun and wear sunscreen. Sunscreen is the best skin protectant there is out there. Just stop the UV from fucking shit up. I wear it because I want to protect myself from skin cancer because I've got so many moles over my body. I have to go get skin cancer checks every 12 months, which sucks. That sucks too because now I've got to pay for them. Didn't have to in the past. Years of bloody liberal bastards gutting the Medicare system. Ow. Ow. Still hot. Let that cool down for a sec, because my fingertips are getting a bit sore from the heat. Anything exciting going on? No. What? Okay, that's a lot of riding. Why am I being mentioned in a group? No. 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 Junk, junk, junk. Nothing exciting going on in the world, unfortunately. That's junk. Go in the bin. Go in the bin, go in the bin. Bin. Yep, we all good. Okay. Continue getting these bloody pads cleared. Okay. discussion in one of the groups that Brad and I are in about people trying to like negotiate on labor costs or complain about how much things cost. A really, really basic repair that like didn't cost much. It was like $92 is all he charged the guy for the repair. And if it was here in Australia, a similar repair I would have done would have probably been about $150 to $225 plus parts, which lines up roughly in line with kind of like the US cost, but yeah, we've got much higher overheads and stuff here. So that would be a factor in it. But yes, I mean, it might take us next to no time to do a job, but you're not just paying for that time for the job, you're also paying for the expertise to know what allows us to do that job faster. The old parable of the ship mechanic and the hammer. You know, a guy goes out to a ship company, something wrong with the engine in their ship. He walks around for a sec, and he listens, he pulls out his hammer, and he hits it twice, hits it the third time, suddenly it's working fine, the issue's gone away. He goes, great, that'll be $10,000, thank you. And the ship owner's like, what do you mean $10,000? All you did was swing a hammer. He's like, yes, I swung a hammer. I knew where to swing that hammer because I've done this so many times before. You couldn't fix this, I could. So the cost of swinging the hammer, $2. Knowing where and how to swing the hammer and how many times to do it, $9,998. That's true. There's some things that I can do very, very quickly that I'll still charge a full labour fee for because anyone else who did it would take that length of time. It took me a long time to develop these skills. It took me time to buy the tools, to have everything sorted. Oh, and there's someone who's walked into the shop. Who is it? Well, they want. Afternoon. What can I do you for?
Just having a poke around, man.
Sure.
It's 6, right?
One only.
Dom.
Howdy.
I did one of your pedal building courses a couple years ago.
Ah, there we go.
Out in the sticks.
Yep.
Yeah. Very nice. How you been?
Yeah, been better.
Yeah? Oh, that's not good.
Yeah.
Business is good?
Ah, business is terrible.
Oh, really?
Yeah. The economy's gone to hell. No one's spending money in that. Just focusing on repairs and fixing things at the moment. So
The repair and tech work bringing in a bit, or?
at the moment, not so much.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, everyone's struggling. So.
Yeah. Oh, that sucks.
Mm. Oh, good.
Well, mate, I won't hold you up. I'll just have a poke around while you
No
do
problem.
anything.
He's done. Afternoon.
Have a good one, bro.
You too. Thank you. All right, back to it. Ugh. Yeah, I'll do it for free. You get the parts and tools. Some of these bloody tools and parts are expensive. Yes, the twin reverb was pretty damn good. This will be interesting. The red knobs get a bit of hate, but their cleans are actually really solid. The overdrive, not so much. They're in a similar vein to like old Mark series amps. So a lot of the gain is after the initial EQ stages and all the rest of that. So if you don't know how to run them correctly, they sound like absolute garbage, like massively horrid. Come on, come out, you. What do you think? There we go. Okay. Yep. Jack out of that one. Come on. There we go. There we go. And Jack's out of that one. Yeah. That's pretty nasty looking. Scungy. Awful. Get some ISO on it, clear it off. Where's my brush? Where's my brush gone? There you are. You can slide it away over there for a sec. There we go. Lots and lots and lots of old, nasty, crusty flux. This might actually require the heavy-duty chemicals. That's some like actual dedicated flux cleaning solution, which is a bit better for like really, really heavy gummed-on flux and that. Kind of get it off, but less time to spend, the better. Ugh. Come on, get off. Alright. Sweet. Clear off the board here. Nice. New Jacks. New Jack City. There we go. Okie dokie. One. Just gotta be a little careful with these jacks because sometimes with how the teeth are on them, they can actually catch on the PCB traces on the other side and actually lift them. Because Fender, back then used single-sided PCBs, which they still use today. Because why not? It's not like we live in an international world where you can actually make stuff quite cheaply overseas and have, through-hole plated, good quality double-sided PCBs. No, none of that. Come on, get in the hole. Win. Much better. There we go. Make sure they're all set firmly on the bottom. See, way too many of these come in, and someone's like replaced the jack, but they haven't actually fully put the seat of the jack on the actual bottom. Oops, someone's having a party outside. Nice, shiny solder pads. Come on. almost exciting as watching paint dry. Watch a man solder stuff. Okay, you move out of the way. Excellent. Come on. Thank you. After I replace these jacks, give the pots a bit of a clean, and then I'm just going to power it up. Give it a testy test. Because I'm still going to do a recap and all that anyway, but I just want to make sure that it's still working. Check the tubes and stuff, that way I can just sort of work out whether I need to get any parts or anything. Pretty sure I got most everything I need. I got my sets of SXL6s if I need to. Plenty of preamp tubes. I got plenty of caps. There's resistors though. They're a bit of a shit. Okay. We're all looking good there. Yep. Nice clean joints. Just clear off the excess flux. Excellent. Okay. Give the pots a wee bit of a spurting. I'm going to do this. Bit of an awkward angle. There you go. Come on. There we go. That way. On an angle. Right in the eyeball. You idiot. Oh, that's unpleasant. I did the same thing the other day too. I swear I'm going to blind myself one day with this stuff. Oh, God. Hook it over a little bit more. Cool. Come on. There you go. Hoop-a-doop-a-doo. That one's done. Well, you can't buy pepper spray here in Australia. Not legally, anyway. Doesn't stop people doing it illegally, but yeah. Can't just go buy pepper spray and use it. Ah, yes, cutting chilies is always fun. Doing it in a mortar and pestle. If you're making like a Thai green curry, and you gotta use a lot of chili and a lot of green chilies and that. Smashing it up in the mortar and pestle, doing it the proper way, and then juice in the eye. Oh, oh, that hurts so much. It's an unpleasant experience through and through. Yes, indeed. G'day, Scotty. How's it going? Okay. Yeah, that's not pleasant. Same thing goes as well with like if you're using something that's got like menthol or something on there, like very cooling type things, that can lead to some insane unpleasantness afterwards. Very, very bad. All right. Okay, so we go there, and there. There we go. Ah, yes. Good old stuff in the eyeballs. Alcohol, iso, alcohol, rubbing alcohol, that thing. Oh. Well, you're not going all the way in. Oh, that's why. It's because that one was going in right. Duh. Chili on the Todger. Hey, man, I'm not going to kink shame. At least you're not going down the road of figging. Alright. Next one. I learned very quickly a couple of years ago that there is a body wash out there that is like minty fresh and all that kind of jazz. And I used it, and I swear to God, that shit hurt for ages. That was unpleasant. You can actually buy capsaicin infused lube. Oh, trust me, I know. You can also buy stuff that's got lidocaine in it too. You can get stuff that has menthol in it, and you can get stuff that has clove oil in it too. Who'd have thunk working night shift in an adult store / gay sex club would have its advantages, maybe? I don't know. I learn all sorts of random weird shit. It's funny. Oh, the things I have seen. When I used to be a smoker years ago, having to bum a smoke off of people. And whenever they smoked menthol, it's like, oh God, really? Oh. But then I got to pay them back because I, like a good little goth / metalhead kid that I was, I smoked clove cigarettes with some regularity, so I had cloves on me. They were always classic. And then there was a brand of cigarillos. They were like filtered cigars, right? Filtered cigars. And they were called Captain Blacks. But they did like regular ones, which were kind of cool. But then they did like a cherry flavored one or something. I want to say, I can't remember. I used to love them. I smoked them as a teenager because I was a derelict. Yeah, so I used to smoke those, and while all the other kids at school were smoking their cigarettes and shit, here I was, the piece of Westy Trass I was, smoking unfiltered white oxes one day and then cigars the next. Oh, thank God I quit. Hell, knowing me, I'll probably end up with lung cancer at some point in the future. Smoke as much as I did for as long as I did until my mid-20s. And yeah, it's gonna catch up to you. Okay. You know what, I'm gonna do this buddy Watsy first because there's no ground connection. And I don't have a isolated thing, so if there's a short or something, I've got no safety. 2-pack of Winnie Red today. Fuck yeah! Well, fucking legend, eh? I used to go through like a 50-gram pouch of White Ox like in less than a week when I was 17. That was bad. This was back when a 50 gram pouch of White Ox cost you like $17. Now, holy hell, they didn't make it 50 grand. Because if they did, it'd be so expensive, you'd get fucking rolled for it. Okay, so that goes there, which goes into that. And that one goes there as well. Ground connections there. Can I get away with just testing it as is? No. Yeah, do it right. Yeah, I went one day, you know what, I'm done with smoking, and I quit. Went and got Champix. I went through half the course of it, and I'd stopped. I was lucky. Oh yeah, sorry, I had an Aussie moment there. Fucking roll, you cunt! Fuck yeah! Quality stuff. Us Aussies are just absolute champions, you know? Okay, so how was this all wired? Where's that power transformer? So that's it there. Those are the ones that are coming up through that. So there's the spares. Yeah, no, I can't stand the smell of it anymore. It's a hard pass. Excuse me. Check it out. Original paper schematic that came with the amp. Oh. So like I was saying earlier, got the what's his here, so how to actually wire up the export transformers and that. So in the current version as to how it is, the black and yellow and black and red get tied together at the same point. There we go. So this is a Japanese model. So black and red and black and yellow are tied together. Black and green and black are also tied together. And then it's using like part of the transformer as just like a buck type thing. So it's running the 120 volt operation at 110. Because basically going there and then back through that part. So this is known as like a, you can set it up like as a bucking transformer. You can actually do it in a particular way with transformers and that you set them up so they feed back in upon themselves on the primary, and it actually causes part of it to be out of phase, which cancels it. So that's how this is. So in this one we've got over here the input jack. There we go. Power supply. Zoom it out a bit. There we go. So rather than having like standoffs or something on the board, they've actually got this here, which is a spade terminal to dual spade terminal to a single socket. And that's actually how they tied the two parts of it together. It's interesting. I've never seen that on any other amp. I don't think I've ever even seen that part before. Now let's pick up the schematic. Let's try that again. Yeah, getting old. All right. So if we be doing 240, go away. So if we're doing 240, black and green and black and yellow tie together. And then the black is the one that goes to the switch. So right now, black is connected to the switch already, which is good. Black and green is tied together with the black there, yep. Goes through the transformer. Alright, yep. Okay, I got it. Oh, itchy. Itchy. Okay. You know what, fuck it. Let's just power it up. Give it a quick test on the Variac and such. Don't have a ground pin on here, but whatever. It's only running on 100 volt. Make sure that's all the way down. That goes there. I need me adapter manure. There we go. Just go thusly into that. Like so. nice and close. Yeah. No, I got it plugged into the Variac, so 100 volt will be fine. No ground connection in Japan anyway. We die like real men. Right, that's the internal one, which needs to be to 8 ohm. Let's get these tubes in here. Get my way in. Yeah. The big massive bases, bloody hell. There we go. Okay. Reverb's off. Now let's monitor this mamma jamma. Make sure nothing goes too wonky. Dunk. Cool. Alright, so we got some buzz in there. Fair bit of buzz, actually. There's probably going to be a bunch from the lights and stuff. Oh, and because of the ground reference, right. I am the ground reference. Yeah, okay. Cool. Right, so pots work, they're doing the thing, stuff happens. Still sounds like it is. Yeah, I'll get that converted to 240 shortly. Recap it. I will give it the once over and that. We should be good to go. I'm going to get some lunch. I'm hungry. So, yeah. That was fun and all. I don't know. Might do a similar thing again at some point. I'm just going to randomly hit the live stream button and that. But I'll be back again on Monday anyway. Because Monday mornings, that's when I plod around the shop. Shop's closed, doing all my stuff. And yeah. But thanks for coming along, checking it out, all that kind of jazz. Talking to myself in the ether as I do. Yeah. Are you really, Brad? Because I doubt that. You might be someone else. Yeah, I'm going to go get food. Catches.